They laughed when he walked into the lobby. His uniform was faded, his shoes worn, and his hands still smelled faintly of detergent. The billionaire CEO didn't even look up when the janitor mopped near her desk until the sleeve of his shirt rolled up just slightly, revealing a black ink tattoo no one in that glass tower could have expected. What happened next made everyone stop pretending they knew who he was. It started on a rainy Tuesday morning, the kind that made the city look gray and endless. Daniel Hayes arrived at the skyscraper before dawn, as he did every day. He was a single father, raising his 9-year-old daughter Lily alone after losing his wife to illness 3 years earlier. Every night, he promised himself that someday he'd give Lily more than second-hand shoes and cold leftovers, but for now, sweeping floors and polishing glass was all he could offer. The employees at Ridgewell Enterprises barely noticed him. To them, Daniel was part of the furniture, a quiet shadow moving across the marble floors. But to Lily, he was everything. Every morning, he packed her lunch, braided her hair with clumsy fingers, and whispered, "Be brave today, kiddo." She'd smile and repeat back, "Be brave, Daddy." The CEO of Ridgewell Enterprises, Vanessa Cole, was a woman who built her empire from steel and sacrifice. She was sharp, driven, and terrifying to most. People whispered she'd fired a vice president once for showing up late to a meeting. When she saw Daniel for the first time, she didn't even know his name, just another janitor wiping fingerprints off her boardroom door. That morning, the staff was buzzing. A powerful investor from overseas was coming, and everything had to be perfect. Vanessa barked orders while Daniel quietly mopped around the corner. He heard her complaining about a lazy janitor leaving streaks on the floor. He didn't respond, he was used to it. He'd learned that silence was often stronger than words, but when one of the junior executives accidentally knocked over his cleaning bucket and sneered, "Careful, soldier," Daniel froze. He hadn't told anyone about that word. It wasn't on his resume. Nobody knew he'd served 12 years in the Special Forces, including tours that haunted his dreams. He looked up, but before he could respond, Vanessa appeared, frowning. "Is there a problem?" she asked. The junior executive smirked. "No problem, ma'am, just our janitor getting sentimental about a mess." Daniel just nodded and cleaned it up. The day went on. Later, as Daniel worked in the executive corridor, he overheard Vanessa shouting in her office. Something about a failed logistics system, millions lost, contracts slipping away. She needed a miracle. Daniel paused outside the open door for a moment, then moved on. But that night, while everyone else went home, he stayed behind. He couldn't help it. Old habits died hard. He sat at the empty lobby desk and pulled out a notepad from his cart. Lines, routes, timing, his mind still worked like it did in the field. Logistics. Movement. Strategy. He'd once coordinated evacuations under fire with fewer resources than this company had. Coffee machines. By dawn, a new plan lay on that notepad, a way to reroute Ridgewell's deliveries, cut losses, and recover shipments through a simple but brilliant rotation. He left it on the desk, and signed, and went home to wake Lily for school. The next day, chaos turned to confusion. Vanessa's team was buzzing. Someone had left a plan that fixed everything. When she read it, her jaw dropped. It was tactical, efficient, genius. Who wrote this? She demanded. Nobody knew. But the handwriting was spotted on a discarded maintenance form. When Daniel walked in later that morning, Vanessa was waiting. "Mr. Hayes," she said, her tone clipped, "we need to talk." He thought he was in trouble. Instead, she showed him the notepad. "Did you write this?" Daniel hesitated. "I just thought maybe it could help." She looked at him differently then. "Where did you learn this kind of coordination?" He hesitated again, then rolled up his sleeve to wipe sweat from his arm. That's when she saw it, the black ink tattoo on his forearm. A set of wings wrapped around a dagger, with numbers below. Her eyes widened. "That's a 6th Recon Unit mark," she said softly. "You were military?" "Once," he replied quietly. "A long time ago." The office went silent. People passing by stopped to stare. The same executives who mocked him the day before now looked uneasy. Vanessa didn't say a word at first. Then she did something that shocked them all. She extended her hand. "Come with me." In the next weeks, Vanessa worked closely with Daniel. She learned he'd left the army after his wife's passing, unable to balance the battlefield with fatherhood. His leadership had saved lives overseas, but now his only mission was raising his daughter. The company's turnaround plan succeeded, saving millions, and Vanessa made sure everyone knew who deserved the credit, but Daniel refused praise. "I just did what needed doing," he said simply when the company held its annual ceremony. Vanessa took the stage before hundreds of employees and told the story of the janitor who saved Ridgewell. She called Daniel up, her voice steady but her eyes warm. "Heroes don't always wear suits," she said. "Sometimes, they push a mop." Daniel stood awkwardly under the lights, holding Lily's hand as she smiled proudly from the front row. The same people who had once laughed at him now stood and clapped, slowly at first, then like thunder later that night. As they left the building, Lily tugged on his sleeve. "Daddy," she whispered, "are you famous now?" He smiled and lifted her into his arms. "No, sweetheart. I'm just your dad. That's all the fame I need." As they walked into the quiet night, the reflection of the skyscraper shimmered behind them. And though the city lights burned bright, it was the small tattoo on his arm, faded, scarred, but proud, that told the real story of a man who never stopped serving, even when no one was watching.